Hi, my little mystic nonconformist. I'm back. I'm going to be talking to you about the December 1st Sagittarius new moon. Now, I know a lot of you guys will have this new moon take place today, November 30th, or some of you guys are too hung over from stuffing your face with turkey and things and all those Thanksgiving leftovers that you don't know what's going on. And that almost happened to me, but it's not happening now. You know why? Because I'm back on track. Let's get into this Sagittarius new moon. If you guys have been following astrology, have been following me, you guys will already know that the new moon means that there's a new lunar cycle, a reset to start over, write some intentions, some goals that you may have, planting seeds, putting your plans on paper so that during this time and the next time, you'll see your actions and your plans come to life. So to see the full result of this Sagittarius new moon, you'll see it by next year, 2025, on June 11th, which is the full moon in Gemini. So you have a couple of months to manifest this new thing. Now, when you talk about Sagittarius, Sagittarius is higher knowledge, it's education, it's diving into different cultures, learning different things. And the new moon wants you to take an adventure like a Sagittarius. It wants you to aim your arrow at whatever goals that you want to have, whatever new beginning that you want. You aim it and you sling it back and you just go for it. That's what's going to happen from now until June 11th with the manifestations that you guys are thinking about or scripting about during this time. Because Sagittarius energy wants you to be educated. It wants you to be well-traveled. It wants you to be in the know on a higher scale, right? You know how Gemini, the sister sign, is like the immediate scale, the immediate assumptions and knowledges and the crossword puzzles, whereas you have Sagittarius, it's a big book, it's theology, it's the Bible, it's Grey's Anatomy, it's a knowledge at a larger scale, it's college, it's the real world. Sagittarius new moon wants you to get real worldly and be in the know. And it wants you to think from a place of prosperity and abundance. So during this time, you're going to think of a plan, or you can create prosperity and abundance for yourself during this new fresh start. The top transits are going to be Venus trine Uranus, Mercury trine Chiron, and Jupiter sextile Chiron. Now we're going to start with the first one, Venus in Capricorn trining Uranus in Taurus, which is also retrograde. So during this time with Venus trining Uranus, you'll be inspired to socialize with people who you see yourself having a future with. You want to meet people from different backgrounds, people who light up your life like lightning, because that's Uranus. You want to meet people who make you feel alive again, who are electrifying, people who know that they need to move, that things need to change, and they're not afraid to take those chances, because some of us are, especially if you're earth sign. You're prioritizing what it means to push yourself out of your comfort zone, so you could find yourself going to different places or be inspired to go to different places, trying different things or different people that push you out of your comfort zone so that you can become more travel, more worldly, so that you can see that there's more to your future when you take risk. This is a harmonious aspect, which means that Venus trine Uranus, the risk will be great. So don't worry about like going somewhere and being trafficked at a higher rate at this time. Still want to be like cautious and vigilant, but yeah, this is a perfect time to inspire you guys, but to taste different entrees on the menu of a restaurant or of life in general. And so that you could like bounce your ideas and ideals off of other people in the collective. So you're not like in a room running around by yourself. You're not an emperor with no clothes on. Now the next transit is going to be Mercury trining Chiron. Mercury is retrograded in the sign of Sagittarius, and Chiron is retrograde in the sign of Aries. So what happens when you have a blunt placement like Mercury and Sagittarius retrograding is making an easy aspect to Chiron in Aries, which is also retrograded. It has to do with something with yourself and your own wounds. What that means is that you'll be achieving more mental clarity, right? So when we're mentally clear about ourselves and about our own thoughts, we're able to communicate clearly, effective communicators. And also because Chiron is a healing asteroid, as well as a wounded one, we're able to heal through communication. We're able to have an easier way discussing like traumas and piecing things together so that we can heal as a collective, or people in your immediate can heal as a collective, or you can heal. You'll be more comfortable, all of us will be more comfortable like expressing our truths authentically, and we'll be well received during this time because they actually fucking get it. And we're able to be blunt in a way. We're able to be real. It lands great. We're not offending anybody, and we're coming off authentic. We're not afraid to show our wounds or be flawed beings, because Chiron in Aries is a flawed being. And I think what that makes us do around this time is we're more relatable. We have more sources and more ideas on which we could get ourselves on to this track, this new lifestyle in which we're able to live at a higher ranking of our higher self, so that we're no longer operating from a wounded self-esteem or out of ignorance. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Now, Jupiter, which is going to be the dispositor of this new moon in Sagittarius, is going to be retrograde. So that means that Jupiter also becomes introspective, especially in Gemini. So before you send that email, it's best that you look through it. Okay, before you mail off some gifts to your relatives around this holiday season, it's best to make sure that you got the right address on there. Jupiter at 2 degrees will be retrograde in the sign of Gemini, sextiling, again, Chiron in Aries, which is also retrograde, showing us that we have the potential at this time and the opportunity to educate ourselves on how, not only how we can heal, but how we can communicate and mingle with others outside of the pond, which could be healing and encouraging for us. So let's say that you are joining a group, let's say Alcohol Anonymous, because everybody gets drunk around this time of year anyway. And some of you guys are still drunk after the holidays. So let's say that you're on a Zoom call with a lot of people around the world who want to improve themselves, who have severely altered their life because of their addiction to alcohol, wine, beers, all that stuff. What you'll find yourself doing is that you'll find yourself relying on people who don't look like you, who may not have the same accent as you, who may not have the same childhood as yours, but you're able to gain knowledge from all of them, from you guys leaning on each other, from you guys learning from each other. And I believe that's the beautiful thing about the Sagittarius new moon, is that we're able to connect in a way in which we can all heal, no matter what race we are, no matter what color we are, or ethnicity, or how we like to scramble our eggs. We all have this one thing in common, and this one thing is that we no longer want to be the victim of our own ignorance, and we no longer want to feel aimless or stuck and never get to experience life and live it abundantly. So the whole collective around this time will be on that same page. Also, there'll be a spike in interest in world events, so watch out for that on the way. Now, it's time to get into all signs. Aries, you'll be having the new moon in the 9th house, okay? So you're thinking about having a new set of beliefs, or maybe you're going back to the beliefs that you had when you were like a child, like you're praying more, you're realizing that you left prayer out of your life, and now you want to return back to it because you feel more stable. You could be making some new discoveries. You could be thinking about going back to college during this time, or going to college if you've never been, or traveling to expand your horizons. So anything that has to do with traveling, college, or just learning in general is going to be of utmost importance to you. So I don't know if you're learning a new course, tutorial, maybe you're looking at a new makeup tutorial, because Aries, especially the women, they love to beat that face. Or you're looking to feel more inspired. Aries wants to feel more inspired so that they can create. They want to say, I am this, I am doing this, I am living life to the fullest. I am no longer stuck in my tempers, my ignorance, and all that shit. I am victorious. That is what Aries wants to feel at this time. Aries, suns, risings, and moons. Now, Jupiter will be retrograded in Gemini in the 3rd house. Voice, communication, podcasting, and writing. Your truth. You want to find your own truth, your own voice, right? In order to do that, you have to be solid with what you believe in or what you've learned. You have to say, you know what, ever since I was a child, I learned that in order for me to get my point across, I had to yell, I had to scream. And then you'll be on a podcast and say, I don't have to do that anymore, because I'm learning these ways in which I could make my point come across without having to scratch up my beautiful voice. Because Aries can sing, and we don't need y'all scratching up y'all beautiful voice. But it'll be things like that. Themes that say, I'm learning a lot about how I can communicate to my siblings, to the people around me. And I'm bringing that knowledge and the things that I have discovered, and I'm giving back this time. Taurus, this Sagittarius new moon will be affecting you all in the 8th house. So during this time, I see that you want to set intentions around gaining more awareness, gaining more psychological awareness. You're going to look at how you bond with people. You're learning about what it means to bond, what it means to be closer to somebody, what is a healthy bond. And you're also focused more on your healing, because that has to deal with you bonding with other people. So I see during this time that you're setting off on a journey to metamorphosis into this person that you've been trying to metamorphose into for the past 2 years, or whenever Uranus has been in Taurus. But first, in order for you to metamorphose into this big old mighty bull, you have to face some problems. First, you have to admit that you're wrong, which Tauruses do not want to admit. Taurus placements do not want to admit when they're wrong, but they're going to have to admit that they are wrong. Figure out why they hated admitting that they were wrong in the first place and see where that's rooted in, because that right there is the problem, Taurus. You need to figure out why you're stubborn in certain places, or why you keep attracting in toxic partners or partnerships in which you have no power, or where you feel powerless, or you feel that you have too much power and you end up losing it. Now, with Jupiter retrograde in Gemini in the second house, what that's showing us is that you're learning to invest in your own self-esteem, in yourself. When you set off to do this healing journey, to dig deeper inside past the material world, which can be new for Taurus since you're a concrete sign, you're learning that when you invest in yourself, when you invest in your healing journey, you're investing in your future. You're investing in creating more abundance. So when you say to yourself, I'm going to say different affirmations about myself. I'm not going to operate from a place of lack and be stingy, because that's actually coming from, this is an example, that's actually coming from a place in your life where you might have felt that you didn't come from much, you didn't come from money, you didn't come from the best people, so you try to hoard all of that in and you become greedy. When you heal those type of problems, then what happens is your mindset and your energy, it touches different areas of your life. This time it is touching the second house, because the dispositor of this new moon will be in the second house of self-esteem, of finances, of money. So when you're able to heal the inner, then the outer will show prosperity and abundance. So good luck with setting intentions on your healing path when it comes to bonding with people, when it comes to investments, when it comes to getting real and discovering what it is to heal, Gemini. You'll be having the new moon in Sagittarius in the 7th house of other people. That means that you are thinking of making new connections. Your mind is on relationship matters, but because it's in the sign of Sagittarius, you're either learning from these, you're learning more about your partner, something new is happening to your best friend, to your business partner, to your lover, and you're right there to witness it. But also because Sagittarius is in your 7th house of relationships, you could be teaching people how to treat you. So you have this new perspective around relationships, on your one-on-ones, and what you've been given and what you've been taking. And some of you guys have been given so much and taken little. So around this time, you're learning from a partner, or you're going to be the partner that teaches that equal exchange is what maintains a successful relationship. Now, the dispositor of this new moon will be in your 1st house, the house of self retrograde. So Jupiter in retrograde will impact you personally. It'll cause you to be more introspective, more intuitive. And then also because Mercury also rules Gemini and Virgo, and it's retrograde as well. It'll also have you having flashbacks on why you choose the people in your life, why certain people have mistreated you, or why you keep attracting the same people in. You're able to learn why you attract such relationships and where you either give too much or you give too little. But during this time, it's definitely a learning experience. And I could see most of you guys say, oh, this is a new chapter of my relationship. Or your new chapter is becoming a new you within the relationship, within how you relate to people on a one-on-one basis, whether that is your partner, your lover, your best friend, people you do business with, or your audience, because the 7th house, me and you type of thing. Cancers and Cancer risings, the new moon will be taking place in the 6th house. So what does that mean for you Cancers? That means that you want a fresh start, or you're going to have a fresh start, creating intentions around your daily life, your work life, your health, your routine. You're becoming more educated on the job that you do. Think that you may be going into a new business or a new job, and so you're kind of learning things along the way. You're getting a tutorial, you're learning the people around you, or you could be traveling for work. You'll be incorporating some type of knowledge when it comes to your health and daily living. Like, I think you're learning why you may have stomach problems and how you could fix it, or you could be implementing something spiritual within your daily life, like prayer or meditation, because you're linking that as a source of good health. You're saying that if you're spiritually healthy, then you're physically healthy. And I think that kind of plays off of itself because you also have Jupiter, the dispositor of this new moon, in the sign of Gemini, which is located in your 12th house of the subconscious, the spiritual, creative writing, and dreams. Also, I would watch out for secrets The secrets that you hold could be making you ill, or the flashbacks that you have, or some type of karma that is within your soul, maybe even past life karma, will probably be affecting your health. And I think if you like went and got those regression past life things or meditated long enough, you'll see where that actually comes from. You may, or you can find your abundance within. You know what I mean? Like when you find your abundance within, then your daily life starts to look different because you fixed the source of your problem, which was your spiritual life. So good luck, Cancers, on that new job, that new routine, that new health regimen. You can do it. Leos, the new moon will be taking place in the area of your hobbies, your joys, datings, children. You're having fresh starts in there. So I don't know if you're dating somebody new. I don't know if you're having a new project and you have to travel for those things. Or maybe you're adapting some type of hobby that came from a foreign land. You have a foreign lover. Or because Sagittarius represents education, your kids are moving on up in education. The question is for you Leos what are you learning about them? What are you learning from your children? What are you learning from your lovers, from your hobbies, your sports, your extracurriculars? Are they taking you higher? Or are they making you more complacent? That's going to be the main question during this time when you're setting intentions around helping your kids. When it comes to setting intention around, some of you guys may want kids. When it comes to setting intentions around a new project or a new boo, what do you want to learn from these people or these things? You're going to have to get deep with this, Leo. You're going to have to get deep with it. Jupiter is retrograde in Gemini in the 11th house. So your friends can help you find your passions. They can put you on to something. Your friends can put you on to something new. Your community can offer you. And if you have kids, they can offer your kids opportunities to learn new things, to expand. Like something could be going on within your community that you could get involved in. You could give back. You can educate. You could be a big brother. I see that with Leos, that could be more of a thing for you guys. Being a mentor to your children or to children or to people in your community who need that education, who need that example. I also see that during this time, you could be reconsidering your presence in the community or online because the 11th house represents your online community. So maybe you're being put on to another platform. It may not be YouTube, it may be Twitch, it may not be Twitch, it may be this, it may be that. But that's what I'm seeing for you Leos and Leo rising, so good luck. Now on to Virgos. Virgos. This new moon will be impacting you in your home, in your inner life, in your emotional life. Seeing that in this time, you do not want to feel defeated. You want to feel grand. You want to feel like you could do anything. You want to move away from negative thinking, negative spaces. You want to be abundant and prosperous and joyful and have joy. And I don't know if it's because the holiday season, you're putting up ornaments or whatever, but you most definitely want to operate from a higher standpoint. You want to have the mindset of someone from a higher standpoint. Maybe you're making investments in your home, or you're changing your bed sheets, or you're buying more property, or you're thinking of buying or building property, or you could be thinking about moving somewhere else, getting a fresh start somewhere else. During this time, you can have new family dynamics or living spaces, like I said. You could be having a baby, or you know somebody who is going to have a baby. You're going to be an auntie or something. Or your family member can bring someone over for the holidays who's from a different country. But I do see you journeying inward on learning what creates your inner stability, but most importantly, what you would call home. What is home to you? What have you learned about home that has impacted you now, but now you want to change it? So what would you say is your version of a healthy home life, a healthy inner world, and what your peace looks like to you? I could also see that during this time, you may be interested in journeying, learning about your culture, looking through photo albums and things like that, so you get closer to those type of answers. Those type of answers to the questions that I just posed for you guys. Whatever you're working on in private, it will manifest out in public. Probably not now, but maybe in a couple of weeks. So I would watch out for that. You know, some private information might be leaked about you, or about you growing a family, about you moving away, or about you buying property, or you becoming a more enlightened bish. And that's okay. That's Libra. Sagittarius new moon will be taking place in the areas of your everyday communication, your immediate surroundings, your siblings, and your mind power. You're thinking of sprucing up your mind power. You want a new relationship with your siblings that are more enlightening, that are more fruitful. You want a fresh start with them. Your communication, you want to think more abundantly. Did I already say that? I don't know. You could be getting a new sweet ride. Some of you guys, new sweet ride might even be a horse. You know, you may call up a friend and they're like, hey, you want to come to this place with me? Sure, where are we going? We're going to the stables. And then you could find yourself riding a horse as your transportation around that piece of land that they have horse ride around. And I don't know, around this time, you're opening yourself up to learn and discover within your community. Like you feel that the answers that you've been searching for have been right in front of you, and that you don't need to travel far, spend that much money to get them either. I can see you even traveling to or frequenting bookstores so that you can gain a higher knowledge, maybe going into a local church, going back to church, or I can see you indulging in a couple of Netflix documentaries or YouTube documentaries to learn more about stuff like the law of attraction, about attracting abundance, about scripting your reality. I see a lot of that happening. Jupiter retrograde will be taking place in the 9th house, the higher knowledge learning house, which feeds more into what I was saying. You're going to be drawing from the things you've learned, and you're going to be bringing it to your immediate surroundings, the experiences that you've had with the outside world, the things that you've learned on your travels from going to school or doing missionary work, the people that you've met. You're taking those things and you find yourself giving back to your community by enlightening them. And you may make a couple people laugh. You may make them cry because you're having this realization and you're bonding through conversations with different people, the many faces, personalities you've experienced. But I do see that a conversation with you during this time can be enlightening, or the conversations that you have with other people can be enlightening as well. Scorpio, I said that you have the new moon happening in the 2nd house, which is good, that there will also be a T-square, but that'll be happening December the 7th. So with the T-square, you'll have Saturn in a Pisces at the apex, squaring Jupiter retrograde in Gemini, and also squaring the new moon, the sun, the moon in Sagittarius. And what this basically is going to do for us is it's basically saying that we need to be accountable for the things and the paths that we want to take. And though it's fun to set out and go on adventures and jump at the seat of our pants, because Sagittarius opposing Gemini is most definitely, let's go jump out there, let's explore mini community, outer community. It's saying that we need to discipline ourselves so that when we do jump out there, if we're in any trouble, we know where the warning stops are and we know when to stop. When you have an aspect with the sun, the moon to Jupiter, there's potential to do things in excess. Saturn is scoring both of those and saying, still be responsible. It's okay to discover. It's okay to discuss. It's okay to socialize. It's okay to put yourself out there, but put yourself out there, but don't jump into things without looking to see if the ground is still underneath you. That right there. Scorpio has been wanting money, and you guys are not waiting around for that alimony or that child support no more, or through donations. Your new ideas and intentions are going to be on how you can grow your income, how you can become more financially abundant. But first, you must cultivate an abundance mindset. Because remember, abundance, your whole life, everything has to do with up here. Okay, I would say that during this time, Scorpios, that it's a favorable time to ask for a raise. I do see that you'll be lucky in that start and asking for a raise. You know, it has to be a process at first, but you're at your job and you say that you're more deserving because you've learned that you put in a lot of work. You'll either ask for a raise or you're thinking about changing jobs and possibly traveling far and wide so that you could get what you know you deserve, because time is money and money is time for the most part. I also see that you could be monetizing your knowledge. You're like, this knowledge is not for free. My time is not for free. And I feel that with you monetizing your knowledge and not just giving it out for free and people just taking and taking and taking and taking from you, that you could turn your knowledge, your capabilities in things. You are daddy, mommy, daughter warbucks at this time. with the new moon in Sagittarius. Now, Jupiter is going to be retrograde in the 8th house, which is the ruler of this new moon. So the reason why you're strategizing is because, like I said before, a grant has stopped, child support's not coming in, or maybe you had some investments that have stalled during this time because of the Jupiter retrograde. But you still committed to getting other people's money. Scorpio rules other people's monies, finances, grants. So Scorpio, whatever way you got to do it, whatever hoops you got to jump in, whatever skills you got to brush up on them, do them. Set the intentions for them, because money is heading your way. Finally, money is heading your way. Sagittarius, my archers, my centaurs, my sag. This new moon is all about you. You are setting intentions about yourself. You want to be like in a couple months, new you, who it is. You want to be unrecognizable, or you're really working on yourself and setting intentions on what you want to become, right? Or what you want to look like. Maybe you want to gain knowledge, gain muscle, gain experience. You want to gain resilience. That rhymes. But you do know that you want to be somewhere personally that you haven't been before, which is kind of hard because many people with Sagittarius placements, you want to be a new person because you haven't been a new person before. No matter how many places you've gone, you've always taken your old self with you. And during this time, you just don't want to do that anymore. And good for you. You want to be an enlightened being. And I'm all for that. All for that. Now, you will have Jupiter retrograde in the 7th house. So while you're focusing on yourself, becoming this new version of you, you're going to be seeing how you interact. Or you're going to be thinking like, how would this person react if I were to say this? If I were to step into who I really feel that I am, my true calling. If I am to step into the person that I truly want to be. Or how will my relationships change? How will people receive me?
You know, you should always think about your relationship.
You may be saying goodbye to a lot of those relationships, but the good thing about it is that when you become a new person, you get restored with better relationships. What is Capricorn doing for the new moon in Sagittarius? Capricorn is realizing that expansion is found in spiritual awareness.
Write that down if you are a Capricorn. Expansion is found in spiritual awareness. You are broadening your spiritual awareness. You're finding out that when you're alone, it's the perfect time to learn something new.
It's the perfect time to read, to educate yourself, to brush up on those skills and those talents that you privately held. Journal, closer to source, spend time with God, meditate. Some of you guys are pregnant, so I see that you guys will be wanting to speak to your stomach or your spouse's stomach and give that fetus positive affirmation. I see you're wanting to nest. This is a nesting energy. Your dream world will take on an adventure. When you dream, when you write, when you are alone, you'll see that you have all these new ideas, these clever phrases that are higher than your normal mundane thoughts. Like when I said expansion is found in spiritual awareness, that's not a normal conversation. That's something that I put together from being alone during these reports. You'll be like me. You'll be writing or whatever, you'll be studying, and then something profound, a phrase, a sentence, a motto will become something new in your life that will take you higher, or that will click in your mind. It'll be like that key in your brain, and it unlocks, and then the light bulb will come on above your head, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, it all makes sense now. Retrograding in your 6th house in Gemini, you'll be incorporating, like I said, spiritual practice into your everyday. The dreams, the creative projects, you'll be putting that to use in your daily life. Aquarius, the new moon will be taking place in your 11th house. You're thinking about doing something new in your community. This could be an online community. This could be outside community. This could be with your friendship groups. You're thinking of starting something new. I think that you could also be looking for new friends, or thinking of finding a new people to connect with, because you're asking yourself, you know, do these people take me higher? Do my dreams take me higher? Do my goals take me higher? Or do I need to get on track with something else because I've outgrown this group of friends? I've outgrown these dreams. I've outgrown these goals, and I just need to aim somewhere else. So I do see you reevaluating what you've been doing from the past couple of years when it comes to your social life, when it comes to the community, when it comes to your plans, when it comes to building something new, and especially when it comes to your social media. You're thinking, who will I be remembered? What would I be remembered for? Because remember, Aquarius is future oriented. I see that you're going further towards what you want to be remembered for by trying something new, by expanding your circle of friends, expanding your hopes and your dreams, making expansions towards what you can do for your community or what community that you create. See that you'll be meeting new people, perhaps foreign people. You're getting inspired from different people, from different cultures, different backgrounds, different sexualities, different stories, and you're adapting their philosophies, and you're philosophizing like your own life in your own future. Now, I see with Jupiter retrograde in the 5th house, you're thinking a lot about your creative projects. This trickles down to what you want to make your community about, your online presence, your friendships about. You'll be like, I want to be with a group of people who I can communicate with, people that I can have deep conversations with. And I no longer want these shallow contacts. I want people who I could grow with. Your main question for this new moon is, does it serve you? Do your projects serve you? Does your group of friends serve you? Do your dreams aid you become bigger, to become greater? Pisces, you'll be having the new moon in the 10th house. So that's the house that rules like your career, your vocation, your life path, what you want to be remembered for as well. You're either leaving a career or you're thinking about, or if you're not promoted, you're going to fucking leave. I think during this time, you're contemplating a new public persona. Like maybe you want to be someone else. Like you want to be known for something else. Someone who is more wiser, who is more braver than you were previously. You no longer want to be the victim anymore. You no longer want to be the entertainment, or you no longer want to be the airhead. You want to be the guru. You want to be the teacher. You want to be the leader. And at this time, I see you're setting intentions on how you can do that. But you have to learn how you can get to that type of point where you are a leader or a guru or a teacher, or where you want to travel for your career. You have to learn how you can get there. You can't skip steps and you can't manifest yourself out of it without having the knowledge on how to do so. So if you are in a state of manifestation, manifesting a new career, public image, path, you will have to learn, and you will have to research or be taught your damn self. Your inspiration, more than anything else, is your private life. You could be taking time personally to reflect or to nurture your own gifts, to nurture yourself. You're really honing down and you're thinking about where you want to be in life, where you want to go in life, who you will be in the next 5 years or even 2 years. You know, you don't have to think that far, but you think close, because them 2 years be like that anyway, and 10 years be like that. But you're really like, what have I been doing with my life? Do I even want to be here? Maybe you've been playing small. Maybe it was that. That is my analysis for the Sagittarius new moon through all 12 signs. Like, share, subscribe. Join me on my TikTok while it's still up. I'm doing readings. Just email me. My email is down in the description box. And thank you for listening to this forecast. I hope you've learned something. Peace.
Let me tell you something. You don't own no streets.